Hello, my name is Eric and I'm doing another one of my video vlogs called One Body, One Lens, One Roll, One Day. And I'm here at McGrage Park, kind of on the outskirts of Medina. Been here before. Today's camera is a Voightlander Vito CLR. Now this is a little bit more unique of a camera than some of the previous ones I've done, is because it has what's called a Selenium meter on it. Selenium meters would basically grab the rays of the sun and react accordingly. However, my Selenium meter does not appear to be working. My aperture and shutter speed dial moves, but the light, it doesn't react to the light. So I'm just going to shoot it basing off a Sunny 16. Today's film is Kodak Max 400. I've shot this was from a batch that I had shot before, so I know it has not been kept that well. The base is kind of darkish, so I'm going to be doing my typical, for every 10 years, slow it down by a stop. And it's 2008, so it's about 15 years. So I'm actually going to pull it back 2 stops. All right, let me see what I can get. Okay, so after a few shots, I noticed there's something wrong with the camera. The iris of the lens for the leaf shutter is not opening and closing. So this one is a bust. I'm going to take the film out, and because nothing's been shot on it, I'm just going to take it out, load up at another camera, and I'll start again. All right, thanks. Okay, so I'm going to restart this episode because the Voightlander Vito had an issue. I had a second camera, so I decided to pull this out. This is a Graflex 22 Model 200 twin lens camera, circa early 1950s, 52-ish, I believe. There's like the previous TLR, or maybe this one's first, I don't know, but there's another TLR. But there is no meter on this guy whatsoever, so I'm going to be using the Sunny 16 rule. I loaded it up with some film photography project Wolfman 400. Now there's a slight problem with that, in that if I were to do Sunny 16 says at f16 your shutter speed should match your film speed. This does not have 1/400th of a second on its shutter speed. So either I'm going to be shooting at f22 at 100th of a second, or I've got to make some or at 200th of a second at f22. Sorry about that. Or I've got to make some manual calculations in my head and make an appropriate adjustment, because I really can't go any slower than that. So f22, or sorry, f16, yeah, f22 at 200. That's pretty much where I'm going to be shooting today. Now it is a nice early Saturday morning, mid-May, early May. Again, these early cameras, 50s, 60s, even into the early 70s, either had no coatings on the optics or very minimal coatings on the optics. So I might get some weird flaring because the sun's low, which can be kind of cool. Again, I'm at McGrage Park, outskirts of Medina, cool lake area. I've shot here before. I'm on the path between the lake area and the dog park. I'm going to go get some photos and I'll be right back. Okay, like the previous TLR or many other TLRs of the era, there is no locking mechanism as you advance. There is a window in the back that if I lift up a little panel, I can see the number of what I'm at. So after I take the shot, I lift up the window and advance it till I see the next number appear. Now this camera is a little different than some of them. Some of them have shutter buttons, shutter release buttons down here in the lower right-hand corner. This one just has an arm that goes back and forth at the bottom of the lens. So you set your aperture on one side, you set your shutter speed on the other, and just flick the switch. Then you advance the film. If you don't advance the film and you flick the switch, guess what? You're going to get a multiple exposure, which I might try. All right, let me see what else I can get. Okay, I'm at the end of the roll of my Graflex 22 Model 200 twin lens camera, circa 1952. Again, no meter, so I had to play by the Sunny 16 rule, which caused another issue because of the fact that I was using film photography projects Wolfman 400. So theoretically, I should be at f16 at about a 400th of a second. This camera's too old, it doesn't have a 400th of a second, it has a 200th of a second. Well, I could have overexposed it by a full stop and shooting at f16 to 200. I just switched my aperture to 22, so 22 at 200th of a second was the same balance. Just remember when using the older cameras, especially from the 50s and 60s, sometimes they don't cock to the next shot. You got to look through the window and it'll show you your frame counter on the back through a little red safe light area. All right, I'm going to take the film out and then go turn it in. We'll see you next episode. Images will be posted at the tail end of the video. If you like them, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you learn something, hey, feel free to share it. Your own experience with Wolfman or other TLRs, feel free to put your own comments in the end. I will see you next episode.